question about the nature or the origins of the Golden Monkey name. Now, you had essentially the idea for the beer from a honeymoon trip, was it?
Yeah.
Drinking Belgian triples?
Yep.
Honeymoons and triples, but, you know, what could possibly go wrong?
This is the first, I think this is the first beer ever that there was a name before there was a beer.
Absolutely correct. This is a good story, I think. You remember when we wanted to do a hoppy Hellerbach?
Yeah.
Prior to St. Boisterous, we were like, let's do something weird on the edge. Let's take a beer that we love, pale Bock beer, hop it up in the American manner, and just make something that never before existed. And then our friends at Old Dominion, where you used to work, came out with this silly Springbok, which was delicious. They had basically stumbled upon the same idea prior to us. So as we were thinking about this Bock beer that never came to light at Victory Brewing Company, I came up with the name Golden Monkey. I just thought it would be a lot of fun. Bock beers tend to make us a little bit silly. So we basically had a name, we didn't have a beer. And then the beer came around and the two came together. But if I had to break the mystique of the monkey down, and the mystique lies in the beer, not the name, not the branding, but if you look at it, Golden always talks about something that's premium, of high quality. So we got all European ingredients in that. We have a very unique yeast strain. It's a premium, delicious beer. And monkey, of course, silly. It's always something funny and silly. So my final answer on this one would be, you understand the monkey part after your second or third one. The golden part is evident right from the start. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So moving along with our questions, we actually have celebrity questions.
Who could they be? Two buffers?
Oprah didn't respond to our request, so that was a letdown for sure.
Did Obama have a question for us?
We couldn't get through to him, unfortunately.
Okay.
He was busy preparing. But from Greg Cook of the Stone Brewing Company, guys who distribute our beer in Southern California for us, quite capably, we have this. My cue to you is, how does it feel going from scrappy microbrewers come biscuit factory rehabbers, yeah, we're here in Pepperidge Farm bakeries, to relative pillars of your community, and arguably by some, respectable members of society? I want to meet those some.
Yeah.
I haven't met them recently. All at the hands of tasty beer and a company with one foot in the old world and the other foot in the cutting edge. Well, number one, I would say, Greg, your mastery of hyperbole is still intact for sure, as usual. So how do we feel to be like pillars of society? You know, I did prepare for this one actually, and then I have visual aids for this one. So let's see if we can make this one work out. Now we're getting technical. We measure success, or I measure this type of success with the community aspect of it. And I took this picture from the street going into our offices the other morning. And that picture is one of our neighbors recycling. And in the neighbors recycling is Exhibit A, an empty case of V12. Now, see, Ron's laughing
now
already.
You know we've made it. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've made it. I mean, this shows you the respect that we have gained in the community, because the respect is based on beer and beer quality. Because you know damn well what we used to say in the recycling along the street 10, 12 years ago, right?
Honey Brown.
Yeah. Dundee's Honey Brown, Miller Lite, occasionally a Harp Lager, which really used to enrage me, because here we are making Victory Lager, a world-class beer, fresh, and here's some clown buying something that's more expensive, imported from Ireland, and thinking he's, you know, king of the hill with it. So
some people even do that with Mexican beer.
Don't get me started. Well, you could answer Sam's question. How's that?
Okay.
Sam Calgione asks, my question is this. How is victory defined at Victory? Quality of beer, growth, constantly improving company-wide culture, stealing beer drinkers from one at a time from light lager? So what is it? Are we stealing drinkers away? Are we about quality? Are we about culture?
I think we're about quality. In the end, that is our culture. It's quality ingredients, quality beer, quality production, quality employees. It seems to be quality is something that the public appreciates. And if I had to sum up our culture and our goals, it's to produce quality product, you know, and Also, it's it's important that we also hire and have employed 180 some odd people, and they are all working hard, and they're all bringing money home, and many of them have been able to start families and get a house and a new car, and all those things are important to me as well. But it all hinges on quality, because we don't have quality, we don't have the sales. When we don't have the sales, we can't hire the best people.
I want to talk about this beer for a second, because I don't think we're doing it justice. I mean, we're enjoying the heck out of it, but this is our dark lager, and it's a little bit different this year.
Yeah, this is a really cool thing that we did this year. At least I think it's cool, being a beer geek and all. When I was over in Germany back in November for a trade show, I went to the Hefebank Weinstefan, which is the yeast bank from the University of Munich.
Everyone's been there. You don't have to explain.
Yeah, okay, right.
Hefebank Weinstefan.
Yeah, right. So we found a yeast there that is supposedly especially good for making dark lager beers of the Munich style. So, hey, knowing that we make a Munich dark beer every January, February, we thought we would try this yeast. We had no idea what it would be. The director of that bank says, well, I have all these strains, but I really haven't categorized them all. Please send me your notes. So we brewed with it, and now I understand why it's great for a Munich dark lager beer. And that's because it accentuates the maltiness.
Right.
It didn't quite ferment as fully as our normal lager strain, so it has a little bit thicker, chewier body to it. And also, for that same reason, that body is instead of alcohol, so it's a little bit lower alcohol this time. And I think it's at 4.2% alcohol by volume, very drinkable, and a rich maltiness to it. I really like the way it came out.
One of the things I think the yeast accentuates as well is there's an initial sharpness to it, which of course you get from dark roasted malts as well, that slight lactic edge. And that slight lactic edge is really super refreshing, and makes you want to jump in for more. Well, while we're complimenting ourselves on making great beer, and this is a funny one because this is the beer that we should not be making here at Victory Brewing Company. Ron and I are two of about a dozen people that actually appreciate this one. So this one's totally for selfish purposes. It, from a sales perspective, should have been cut a long time ago. And while we're talking about sales, and while we're talking about growth, and all those wonderful things, we've compared notes with our friends at Dogfish and Stone, and craft beer, as I mentioned, is up overall like 9% for at least the first half of the year. And we had a spectacular year this past year thanks to our audience, and I know Stone and Dogfish did as well. And when we talk about having a spectacular year, it takes the consumers, it takes us as the producers, but there's someone in the middle. There's dedicated wholesalers that get the beer from us to your pint glass, and some of them are not apparently so dedicated. One in particular that sells both Dogfish, or I guess I should say attempts to sell Victory, Dogfish, and Stone.
Those are some of three of the most successful craft breweries, aren't they?
Well, how is success measured? You just answered that question, right? And sales is still one part of it as well. Well, someone had a down year, okay? Someone had a remarkable achievement in being down for all three brands. And so we decided that an honor should be bestowed upon them, because we have a remarkable achievement here, that someone could actually be down with these great breweries. And so we've created here the Thumbs Up Your Ass Award, because apparently that was the activity that this wholesaler was engaged in more so than selling beer. Astounding to us. So at any rate, for our friends who have gained this award, we have...
Stop that.
What?
I value my job and my beer allowance. Thank you.
What?
Kelly is our sales manager's sniveling underling, and she's ruined the day for us, so we're done.
You don't get to find out who that wholesaler was.